I can't possibly do the same one we've been doing tonight. Do you remember? But I would like to say that we were all born. Yeah, so there's that. And that we're all going to die. That's the exciting part, right? It's learning how to live for a living. There's the tricky bitch. But it's going to happen to all of us. It's no surprise. Every last person in here, every single one of us, going to die. We're going to assign different values to how much it hurt or who had it worse or what happened. But nonetheless, we're just going to dissolve and die and be shuffled off into the great wide open. And whatever happens next, and not one of you have a say in that. It's just going to happen exactly as it was supposed to, and it is supposed to. And about that, I would like to invite you now to join me and Timmy and the others in maybe participating in your existence and kicking it up a notch in psychological evolution and stop making everything such a goddamn tragedy. It's no surprise. We're going to die. We don't have to sit around waiting on Orange Alert or Katrina or anything else to happen to show our neighbors we care about them. You can go do that right now. That's what takes more guts. The rest of it's just laziness, fashionable unoriginality. Bought. On a similar note of non-tragedy, sometimes one person loves another person and it's not reciprocated 100%. And the person in love some days wants to eat a shotgun, maybe. And there's nothing I can say to make you feel better if you're in the sticky tar pit of it right now and you're feeling that. But I do want to say from experience that it does dissolve with deep breaths and a lot of space and a lot of time. And I think it will eventually possibly end up applying to most of us in here. And it only gets better. You'll only get better. Don't give up. And then the last thing regarding dying, a giant actually, on whose shoulders I stand, a gentleman by the name of Utah Phillips, died. Oh, good, a couple of you know him. Helped pave the way for us to get to do what we love for a living, and telling stories and hanging out with people and just getting to live for a living. He died a couple years ago in his sleep at the age of 73, and the newspaper said he died of heart failure, but I was playing Trivial Pursuit with some friends in Seattle, and the question was, according to Sigmund Freud, what is the goal of all living organisms? And the answer, according to Freud, was death. And I was thinking, if Freud was right, which he has been about a couple of things, as embarrassing as that is, Mom. If Freud was right and the goal of all living things is death, then Utah Phillips did not die of heart failure, y'all. He died of heart success. This poem is for him and for everyone riding in the van who just made it all the way from the West Coast on very long drives, 6 to 7 hours a day, and we are so happy to be in the Northeast where you guys all live close together. When I rode off into the sunset, there was no blackout or camera behind me. I did not recede into the distance. I was still very much present with what I had left behind. My horse was thirsty from how far I ran him, and your God is my witness. I ran him until I rode into town here and realized I'm not the end of a movie. I'm done playing sunsets for lonely. My best days are the days I see clearly. So I had hoped to come clean here perfectly for you and the whole saloon. but there is no polish on the tables tonight. Expect rough spots then when I show you my cards. These hands we were dealt may splinter. The spades could get under your skin. I was living with them under my skin. They were digging up into my film strip. I was riding with them stuck in my heart. It is work to ride head up and holy here. It is painters with slack in their brush. Painters all jacked up on stampede dust, just trying to get it right. I've been trying to get it right. And I've been learning here how to grow larger than the monsters alive in my dreams, swinging a crowbar out of my whistle, grand pianos out of my rust. I shot typewriter keys out of cannons I keep, aimed at the bandits alive in my trust. There were bandits alive in my trust, come to burn down the verbs left alone in my blood, barking like dogs in a combine. My horsehead sweat like a war on a landmine, jawbone chomp at the bit like a bear trap telegraph. I know I look like a bleeding dot by now from where you stand, where there is mad dash and such wild west, and it is raining down locomotives on a horse who might not have a name, but who carries a trough in his chest, empty as it may be today, from feeding bandits disguised as the Pony Express, coming up spades and splinters, my workhorse spitting out hammers and ink. There is a colony of bad fathers who built this place, still alive in the way I was led to think, like a snake who can shed his own crucifixion, or a midnight rider who leaves his beast under the whip of a daylight sky. Y'all, that's why I looked like Gallup cursive when you held me under the horizon line to magnify every single silver screen I stole while I was high on my filthy electric whale, like a bullet through a junkyard ghost. You know, I don't care to be good, Sheriff. I care to be whole. So read what it says in my buckles, boy. Take your sunset out of my rise. I will not send you sailing if you came here to drive. And I know you came here to drive. That's why it reads, don't give up on your saddle, like I wrote won't give up on my life, like I've been typing my name on a horse I drove through the desert as sure as a river he ran. And I swear on my shadow he wouldn't turn back. No matter how much slack I typed into his neck, not everyone wants to go home, to get the sunset painted back into their bones, to have the law with all that slack in its love, pretending to save me. You don't need to save me. I already did that myself. When your God is my witness never turned up. There was a typewriter buried alive in that horse. The one I rode to get out of the flood.